Saya kena buat nilai tu ada pada diri saya. Itu yang saya sediakan diri saya.
Saya tak pernah rasa senang. Senang ni adalah tafsiran saja.
So formula dia ada 3 R. Simple aja. The first R adalah reliable.
Atau menjual lah produk keluar negara ni ialah pertama, kalau boleh produk-produk tu yang sesuai dengan masyarakat di negara berkenaan.
Dulu kau ada duit, kau kena buka kedai, kau kena ada modal, tapi hari ini, hari perniagaan, tak ada modal pun boleh berniaga.
Kalau satu hari hidup senang, jangan lupa orang yang tolong kita.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel, but we must travel in through the tunnel and go to the light.
So why not you try first? Okay, dalam media sosial ni you kena try dekat situ, dan janganlah hari ni buat terus give up.
Problem when people bring to a complicated problem, the solution is always very simple. You simplify the problem first. You mesti gerak out of your box, out of your comfort zone. Right? You step aja, satu step aja you boleh dapat.
Kita nampak progres mereka tau Datuk. Dari situ saya betul-betul niat nak bantu lebih ramai orang lah Datuk, supaya lebih ramai orang boleh buat income sama-sama dengan kita.
You must commit. You mesti commit tu apa yang you nak buat. Dengan you commit tu, you kena tahu environment.
Pada saya, jangan takut. Kita teruskan. Tapi bila dah teruskan, kita jangan stop. Kita kena teruskan lagi.
Kalau kita nak dapat, kita bagi dulu. Kalau kita nak rezeki yang banyak, kita kena bagi sedekah yang banyak.
Mesti ada 10% guna teknik lain yang bukan teknik-teknik yang biasa-biasa kita guna. Yang itu yang sebenarnya rahsia dia. So, saya nak membangunkan tu. Saya nak membangunkan tamadun yang ada akhlak.
Taraf maruah itu sangat tinggi, sangat tinggi. Tolong jangan rendahkan maruah demi populariti.
Maknanya kita kena didik, kena buat apa yang perlu, yang patut secara bersungguh-sungguh.
Nabi kata apa? Kita ni kalbunian. Kita ni macam batu-batu yang binaan. Kalau kita sendiri, kalau orang yang nak naik cepat, buat seorang-seorang. Tapi orang yang nak growth, kena cooperate.
I keep this as a very important character. Saya memang menitik beratkan humbleness itu penting.
Jadi jangan kita rasa pasal rupa, pasal ketinggian kita, fizikal kita menghalang cita-cita kita.
Saya rasa kesilapan yang kita selalu buat ialah kita dari segi overhead lah. Saya rasa kita bila terlampau overhead, terlampau tinggi, kadang-kadang kita tak mampu nak menjana pendapatan yang cukup untuk membiayai perbelanjaan operasi kita.
Syariah bukan setakat halal haram, Datuk. Syariah adalah satu inspirasi kehidupan.
Pelanggan kalau dia nak pergi, dia dekat rumah nak beli roti, nak beli sardin, nak beli Panadol, dia tidak akan pergi pasar raya. Dia akan pergi mana, Datuk? Kita pencet.
Dia punya produk tu, setiap produk-produk tu kena ada orang yang manage. Kita tak boleh manage ni. Kalau saya buat, kejap saya buat ni, kejap buat tu, buat macam ni, susah.
Kalau family kena ada agreement, double agreement. Tapi agreement ni kena melalui lawyer. Dia akan tulis obligasi partner A, obligasi partner B. Kalau kita buat sesuatu yang kita tahu, jadi orang tak boleh tipu kita. Orang tak boleh tipu kita. And then in fact, kita akan gain respect every day lah.
Dulu masa zaman tu nak buat perniagaan memang payah sikit. Nak modal kena besar sebagainya. Zaman sekarang senang. You boleh start dengan dropship, you boleh start dengan very low cost punya, atau even tak ada cost pun boleh start perniagaan.
Sekarang kita buat Quran Village. Ini satu pengembangan baru kerana saya bila research ni maknanya tak boleh berhenti kepada on paper. Kita kena lihat juga teknologi terkini. Sebab itu Quran ini dia menggunakan QR code. Kalau bermain dengan dunia konten ni, kalau ikut digital media world tu duk kata panel dia, mereka kata dari segi data memang orang Malaysia 60% aktif dalam 7 pagi hingga 10 malam.
Alright, jam 9 malam. Kan saya dah cakap hari ini kita ada perkongsian yang hebat. Cerita Datuk Malik tadi pasti memberi inspirasi kepada semua individu yang berhajat untuk memulakan perniagaan dalam food industry kan. Siapa speaker kita yang seterusnya pada jam 9 malam ni? Masya Allah, yang ini kalau saya sebut namanya pasti anda semua akan tergamam kerana kita selalu orang kata tahu mengenai produknya, tetapi tapi kita mungkin tidak mengenali siapakah the man behind the product, kan orang kata. So pernah dengar tak Malaysia Book of Record? Kalau pernah dengar Malaysia Book of Record, hari ini dalam Convention Founder Legend, kita memperkenalkan secara eksklusif the man behind the name, orang kata pengasas kepada Malaysia Book of Record, tak lain dan tidak bukan, beliau yang dimaksudkan adalah Tan Sri Danny Ooi. Anda masih bersama dengan saya, Dr. Haja Azraida Syahadan, pakar kepimpinan diri, keluarga dan organisasi. Dan kita akan sama-sama untuk mendengar kisah kejayaan dan kisah kehidupan. Bagaimana sebenarnya Tan Sri Danny Ooi mencipta nama di negara China dengan membentangkan bendera Malaysia paling panjang di tembok besar China. Nak tahu lebih lanjut? Jom kita bersama dengan Datuk Sohaimi Syahadan dan speaker hebat Convention Founder Legend Tan Sri Danny Ooi.
Hai, kita teruskan sesi berikutnya dalam Convention Founder Legend Sukses Sifu. Kali ini dengan tetamu istimewa saya, seorang yang begitu namanya dikenali, tetapi hasil buah tangannya lebih hebat lagi dikenali. Beliau ialah Tan Sri Danny Ooi. How are you, Tan Sri?
I'm good, terima kasih.
Khabar?
Khabar baik, sehat.
Wah, Tan Sri dari dulu muda sampai sekarang pun nampak muda. Look young all time.
Ada secret juga.
Okey, terima kasih Tan Sri kerana sudi bersama kita dan to share with us your secret of tips and all, your life story maybe. Dan terima kasih bersama dengan kita dalam program Sukses Sifu Convention Founder Legend. Kepada yang belum mengenali Tan Sri Danny Ooi, Tan Sri Danny Ooi ialah pengasas ataupun founder kepada Malaysia Book of Record. Jadi kalau kita membaca laporan-laporan mengenai Malaysia Book of Record, inilah di sebelah saya ini adalah cetusan minda. The idea come from Tan Sri, dan bagaimana dia membesarkan, dan terkini Tan Sri menulis sebuah buku berjudul The Untold Story From Nobody to Somebody. Dan Tan Sri sekarang giat memberikan motivasi ceramah tentang tajuk Dare to Dream. Tan Sri,
Yeah.
Okay. Can we share a little bit, Tan Sri, about your I know you are very busy, terlalu sibuk. Then the one whole day, what is your routine actually?
Sekarang adalah
kurang sibuk,
semi retire, main golf lah hari-hari. Sekarang I'm taking back my time, dapatkan masa balik pasal 40 tahun dah bagi kepada rakyat, kepada country to serve. So sekarang nak enjoy lah lagi. Tak tahu bila nak enjoy lagi.
Sebelum ini your life very busy, Tan Sri?
Life is busy kerana kita nak cabar dalam dunia ini. Malaysia bukan senang. So started the Malaysia Book Record dah 25 tahun. Susah lah dah dulu. Tak ada apa record, start zero, almost tak ada berjaya, but persistent lah. Saya went through the hard times. Kalau buku ini Dare to Dream ada beritahu untuk life saya from zero, slowly build up.
Okay, Tan Sri, before we go further, kita nak tahu tentang your childhood time. During you kanak-kanak, you lahir di mana, dan besar, then your family little bit, because most of the kita punya penonton ni yang sedang live online, dia mungkin ini Tan Sri Danny Ooi, tapi they don't know about your history, your background little bit, your education maybe. Share.
Bapa dari China, mother from Penang, Pulau Tikus. Saya born di Sentul, Todi Shop, 1955. Sekarang sudah 65 lah. Dulu parents pun tak berapa kaya lah. Susah juga lah. Every day kalau pergi sekolah pun ada 5 sen saja. Bukan RM5 atau dulu lah.
born in Penang.
I'm born in Sentul.
Born in Sentul. Jadi dia sekolah di Sentul.
Sel Sentul, MBS Sentul lah. Methodist Boys School Sentul.
Bapa kerja apa?
Bapa is a labourer lah.
Oh, bila datang daripada China,
dia tak ada apa, tak ada education, they just come here. So as a labourer lah. Bapa pun susah juga, kerja sampai 70-an, 70. Itu mak pun tak berapa kerja except looking after babies. Saya ada
sibling, how many sibling?
I have one sister lah, tapi dah hilang. 16 years old, she already got married, then go to Canada. Dah tak ada kontak sampai sekarang lah. Itu so saya satu orang saja. Apa-apa pun have to bear myself. Parents not so well to do. Especially young time, shifting houses, berapa kali nak shift, 15 kali saya ingat noh. Pindah rumah house to house lah.
Sebab susah.
Dulu RM60 satu bulan sewa pun tak boleh bayar. So itu yang susah lah. Dah pergi sekolah 5 sen, kadang-kadang tak ada. That's how I go through my school life lah.
Tapi sekarang Tan Sri, budak-budak dia lahir aja, everything ada dekat depan mata. Semua senang, semua ada.
Macam anak saya sekolah pun bagus, pergi universiti apa, kita tak ada. Saya sampai darjah 5 form 5 saja. Tak ada tuition, so tak boleh belajar. Then I have to give up lah. Fail in all the subject. Form 5 I have to leave the school. Then after that pergi kerja lah. I was quite lucky. Tapi dulu first start kerja baru RM60 satu bulan. 1972.
Okay.
There's umur 18 tahun. Kerja baru RM60 satu tahun. So not easy lah. Sekarang start work pun ada 800, 900, kita baru 60. But anyway, that is life. So memang sekolah young time susah lah. Sometimes have to pick coins in the book. Kalau dalam Dare to Dream, you boleh tengok people throw coins, I have to go and pick. There's a story about it. Ada cerita untuk picking up coins and all this. Tapi after school bekerja, buat sikit business, fail. Lagi after that, back to work again, then go to business. So that's how I go through my life. Tapi
it's not easy also, Tan Sri. Bukan lahir di atas gold plate katakan.
Macam makan pagi. Apa itu proverb dah.
Apa ni, kais pagi makan pagi.
Yalah. Itu that's my life lah.
Then after that Tan Sri continue, then mula bisnes,
saya dah buat banyak. Saya buat banyak bisnes atau jadi banyak salesman untuk jual telefon dalam telefon bimbit. 1990 sudah jual telefon bimbit itu macam Sapura lah. Dulu Sapura, Toshiba. Saya ada jual food massager, mesin urut kaki, belum kuat.
Macam-macam.
Dulu tak ada OC.
Benda-benda baru lah.
Dulu tak ada.
Baru.
Dulu
tak ada. Ambil daripada mana? Jadi memang
saya ada saya dealer sajalah. Retailer, distributor. Bukan senang lah jual urut kaki mesin di City Square lah, Yau Chuan Plaza lah dulu. Tapi apa-apa bisnes pun 1 tahun, 2 tahun saja. Then after that give up. Pasal yang tak ada capital. Buat bisnes mesti ada capital. Kita dulu mana ada capital. So itu senang. Tapi dalam proses bisnes ada belajar a lot of marketing strategy, how to sell food massager, how to sell telephone bimbit. I also ada buka sekolah music. Saya tahu main music pun ada boleh ada go into music school, technique music school, tapi itu yang susah sekali lah. Pasal tahun 86, too aggressive, too greedy, open up 5 music school. So dalam recession 1986-87 kena lah. Itu music school, satu music school ada nak 6 to 8 musical instrument untuk lesson. So itu jam kita ada leasing yang popular, Hong Leong leasing lah. So kalau tak boleh bayar, they come and collect. So 1986, 87 have to close the shop, not tutup, nearly gone bankrupt. But lucky the bank they give us a chance, give me a chance untuk bayar balik slowly lah. So it's tough. Then after that, after doing business, go back to work. Pergi work dalam satu diskotek dan club 1987. Pergi jadi marketing and promotion manager di Club Stargazer, Masjid India.
Okay.
So that's how I learn my organizing skill lah. Okay. Itu yang pertama sekali saya organize satu Ratu Cantik local Miss Stargazer.
Miss Stargazer.
Miss Stargazer. So it was quite well done.
Nampak it's life Tan Sri kan, kehidupan it's not so easy. Macam Tan Sri dia bukan lahir dalam keluarga senang. Dia berusaha sendiri dan banyak macam-macam bisnes buat, tutup buka, hadapi macam-macam rintangan. So in your life Tan Sri, siapa sebenarnya yang inspire you ataupun yang buatkan you bertukar your mindset daripada biasa jadi luar biasa atau something to do yang out of the box? Siapa yang mendorong you ataupun yang jadi you punya idol?
Sebelum going to Malaysia World Record, dalam journey of the business yang kalau saya tidak gagal, bangkit lagi, that's how I give me my own strength. And positive thinking that I have my dreams. So jangan putus asa lah, itu yang penting. Kalau saya fail, saya bangkit. Tapi untuk Malaysia Book Record itu dalam 1989, saya ingat saya ada ini idea came about untuk mencipta Malaysia Book Record. Tapi the idea of having a Malaysia Book Record itu lari semangat Tun Dr. Mahathir lah. Dulu PM, bekas PM Prime Minister, dia ada Malaysia Boleh. So I think kenapa world ada Guinness Book Record and Malaysia Book Record ada semangat Malaysia Boleh, kenapa tak buat satu buku sendiri Malaysia Book Record. That's how it started. That's the idea came in 1989. Tapi 6 tahun baru launch project itu. That's 1995. After 6 years baru ada semangat untuk set up the Malaysia Book Record. Tapi itu yang nightmare lah. 10 tahun after setting up, nightmare. Pasal Malaysia Book Record pun tak ada apa income. Just record. First 3 years, partner come in also cabut. But I told my partner, tak apa, ini mimpi saya. This is my dream. I need to carry on. So after 3 tahun, the partner sudah left the company. I took over. Susah juga. 10 tahun, there's nothing. First 3 years, okay, we came out with our first book. Itu just... tapi Malaysia Book Record ada satu projek yang saya dah in my mind. Ada buku, ada TV series, ada awards, ada museum. That's why I hold on to it because saya tahu kalau Guinness Book of Record can be successful, why not Malaysia Book Record? Dalam masa itu pun ramai Malaysian rakyat pun ada buat rekod because of Malaysia boleh. And sekarang ada satu body untuk mengiktiraf kejayaan mereka. So the response is very good. No income because it's a non-profit entity. So 10 tahun we carry on this way until the next Prime Minister come in, help us a bit of grant lah. So we survive lah. So after that, that's what history is made. Kita tahun ini sudah 25 tahun Malaysia buat rekod.
Okay, Tan Sri, before that, during suatu zaman susah, you jatuh bangun, how you control your mind ataupun your dream? What is the secret of the tips yang you boleh share? Sebab ramai yang dah jatuh bisnes sekali, jatuh buat bisnes kali kedua jatuh, dan terus fed up, give up. terus macam rasa they have no like towards the end of the tunnel, tak ada. So how you overcome that?
I'm quite lucky pasal saya pun ada ramai kawan, friends who have done well. So sometimes the only way is loan. You have to take out your hand and ask for help. So that is also something that it is. If I don't have friends, saya ingat saya dah jatuh, cannot bangun lagi. Because whatever you do, you still need money. So I have few friends who are willing to help. Like my friend, they invest dalam Malaysia Borakot about almost 500,000. Itu banyak wang dalam in the 90s, early 90s, 95. It's a lot of money, 500,000. I think it's important is I thank the Lucky Store lah, because sometimes you need to depend on friends. Where they trust you. I mean, it's mostly kita ada kawan baik, tapi in terms of money, not a lot of friends will trust you on that. But I'm quite lucky on that because I think maybe I have good friends. But of course, I also have to think about where to pay back. Macam bank loan. Bank loan also owe a lot of bank money, leasing lah semua. So these are all the debts that I carry on. Almost I just carry on lah. Whatever also I carry on.
That's about friend and loan or support by people. How about yourself? Biasanya kita bila kena kita akan duduk fed up, give up. If we feel something macam kita tak nak niaga lagi, so we don't want to make comeback, kita pun kata tak boleh lah, my life always tak ada ong lah kan. Tapi you strong, you boleh you motivate yourself. What was the tips tu? Apa yang
I think during that time when I go into when I say I go into other business, there are obviously some income, but you don't make a lot of money. Itu yang bagi saya survive for a while. Macam saya jual the food massager, I can help me for about few months. After that, when the business fail, I go into working. There's some salary and some allowance, then you help me to survive. So itu yang
meaning cari jalan lah.
You have to find ways. Yes, that's
you just
important.
cannot duduk and salahkan nasib.
No.
Nasib macam ni.
Yang penting opportunities lah. Kita on the lookout opportunity. So when kalau 90-an ada karaoke sudah is on trend, I also think of doing buat karaoke mobile service. Itu pun kalau ada party, I will provide my service. That's how I survive lah.
Think out of the box lah. Di luar kotak ataupun relevant to current situation.
Yang penting in this world there are many opportunities. It's whether you go and look out for the opportunity. It won't just be there, because opportunity are there for you to go and look for it. So kita mesti
kita tidak boleh tunggu opportunity datang. Kita kena pergi mencari peluang itu. Mencari opportunity.
That's right. So you cannot say there's nothing in this world. There is always something in this world for you to. You just have to be rajin, on the lookout. Most important, on the lookout. So you just have to be alert lah. Itu yang penting. Even as a present business. But tapi business sekarang is different. When people go into this, macam itu bubble tea, semua buka bubble tea. People open semua, but this is very dangerous, you see. So now you look at it with COVID-19, bubble tea semua pun tutup. So it's not easy lah.
Maknanya daripada perkongsian kita dengan Tan Sri tadi, peluang ada di mana-mana, tapi kita kena menjadikan kita itu perlu menjadi pemburu peluang. We have to hunt.
That's very good.
That's what pemburu peluang. That's how Tan Sri dia bangkit kembali. Selepas bisnes jatuh, dia berfikir Tan Sri ni akan berfikir apa next, di mana peluang. Katanya tadi peluang ada di mana-mana, terpulang pada kita bagaimana untuk mengambil dan mencari peluang-peluang baru ini dan menjadikan bisnes ataupun sesuatu yang kita buat itu jadi relevan dengan isu semasa. Tan Sri, let's talk about Malaysia Book of Record. Malaysia Book of Record ni pada satu ketika sampai sekarang pula dulu jadi fenomena. Everybody semua nak pecah rekod Malaysia.
Every big ada rekod. Every big.
Can you share? Very interesting. So saya dulu pun ada 3-4 juga saya buat. Saya akan contact Tan Sri tanya apa yang terbesar, saya nak buat besar lagi. Apa yang paling panjang, kita nak buat panjang lagi. Apa yang ramai, kita nak buat ramai lagi. Ataupun warna dan sebagainya. Kalau Tan Sri you can share tentang Malaysia Book Record
penting why Malaysia Book is so successful because kalau dia orang break satu rekod, ada iktiraf dalam buku atau maybe a chance to go into the Malaysia Book Record TV series, lagi ada minister in attendance to sign the certificate. Itu yang penting, tu ada satu body untuk mengiktiraf and knowledge. So that's how Malaysia Book Record is so successful. Kita when we first started Malaysia Book Record dalam first 3 months itself already, every week tak ada non-stop, every day pun ada record coming in for us too. That's why I think it is even the Guinness Book of Record, World Record Body pun surprised. Kenapa Malaysia Book of Record can be so successful compared to so many countries that not successful at all in their own record books. So I think it's also our people, the motivation given to rakyat kita untuk break record. Dan ada satu one recognition lah. That's why we are very successful lah untuk for our country Malaysia. Yeah.
Okay. Dan all the record kita simpan di dalam buku dan sekarang kita boleh search online.
Kita ada online the Malaysia Book Record. Not only on the book, we also produce to Malaysia Book Record TV series. Saya pun dah produce 250 episode of Malaysia Book Record TV series, tapi dah stop lah sekarang. So maybe we'll carry on next year, tengok. So kita pun ada Malaysia Book Record Awards Night. That's why attended by Prime Minister. That's why people like it, because it's the also the success of Malaysia Book Record because we are recognized as the national record keeper for the country. Ini ada satu archive that we can keep because very important untuk generasi young generation. When they refer back, itu ada satu archive untuk refer apa-apa record yang Malaysia ada. Kita ada 11 kategori dalam Malaysia, not only fees, business, arts and culture. That's why it's so versatile. Buku ada 11 category. That's why it's so versatile. So anyone, any companies can also go into the book of records. Yeah. But of course, yang penting is human achievement lah. That is the most important thing. The life of Malaysia Book Record.
InsyaAllah saya akan buka kelas panduan unggul ubah hidup mimpi ke realiti. Dah beribu-ribu dah orang di luar sana yang mampu untuk mencapai impian mereka, menjadikan impian mereka satu kenyataan, menjadikan mimpi mereka satu realiti. Apa yang akan anda pelajari adalah beberapa teknik bagaimana kita sebagai manusia sebenarnya mampu untuk mencapai impian kita dalam tempoh yang sangat singkat. Tak kisahlah apa jua bentuk impian anda, besar, kecil, nak rumah besar, nak rumah kecil, nak kereta besar, nak kereta kecil, semuanya anda mampu capai. Dan mengikut testimoni pelajar-pelajar yang telah mengikuti kelas saya sebelum ini, ada yang berjaya mencapai impian dalam tempoh 2 hari sahaja. Masya Allah, tabarakallah. Jadi saya yakin dengan mempelajari ilmu mengubah hidup mimpi ke realiti ini, anda semua mampu untuk mengubah kehidupan anda, menjadikan sebuah kehidupan idaman yang anda impikan. Yakin dan percaya bahawa kelas ini mampu mengubah kehidupan anda. InsyaAllah. Jumpa saya di kelas Panduan Unggul Ubah Hidup Mimpi ke Realiti. Assalamualaikum.
From your experience, Tan Sri, daripada pengalaman Tan Sri dalam Malaysia Book of Record ni, apa agaknya satu pencapaian yang paling susah yang Tan Sri sampai sekarang banyak-banyak tu masih, wah, this is memang susah lah nak buat atau susah nak ini?
Ada satu rekod yang mana-mana saya pergi, saya pun ada 2 lah. Satu ada satu rekod itu merentang jalur gemilang di Great Wall of China.
Oh, dia membentangkan jalur gemilang di
Great Wall of China.
tembok besar China.
Tembok besar China on the 1st of October, their National Day. Itu yang paling sensitif lah. Putting on the longest jalur gemilang on the Great Wall of China on their National Day, 1st of October.
China punya National Day.
Yeah,
sensitif lah.
Very sensitive. Itu ada sampai 2 kilometer.
Jalur gemilang itu.
2 kilometer.
Buat di sana?
Buat di sana.
Oh, from local daripada Malaysia
from
punya
the
team.
students from the UKM, about 80 of the students dari UKM. Tapi sebelum buat itu ada a lot of discussion apa macam nak buat on the 1st of October. Dulu
kenapa pilih 1 Oktober? Sengaja pilih
because ada satu ekspedisi, so student itu, so
Tan Sri tak tahu 1 Oktober tu hari.
Saya tahu, tentu saya tahu. Saya pun ada jalur gemilang, jalur
Independent Date tu, China Independent 1 Oktober.
Yes, on the
tahu.
Saya tahu. I pun ada explain to them is a very sensitive apa macam buat, tapi kita teruslah nak buat rekod itu sampai masa itu ada Datuk Seri Hishamuddin, Tun Hishamuddin Hussein, dia Menteri Youth and Sport.
Okey.
Dalam kapal terbang saya pun cakap, Datuk Seri apa macam nak buat ini 1st October tau, China National Day, and not only that you're putting on the 7 wonders of the world. So, boleh lah. Tapi sampai sana itu jalur gemilang 2 kilometer panjang, 2 ton, almost so heavy, was stuck with immigration. Pasal dia orang pun heran kenapa bawa kain pergi China.
Bawa daripada Kuala Lumpur.
Tertahan 4 jam lah. So lucky thing kita pun ada the embassy, Malaysian embassy to help out. Then we managed. So after that saya bincang dengan Datuk Seri Hishamuddin. I said, okay, why not we say we go and celebrate with them. Change this idea untuk celebrate China National Day, to put the Malaysia flag bilateral. Itu yang satu idea yang suddenly came to me. So okay, malam itu baru dapat approval. Dia cakap okay, the government there say okay, you only can put early morning from 6 o'clock right up to pukul 11 pagi.
Okay.
Pasal ada orang nanti pergi tengok satu itu Malaysia flag on the Great Wall of China. So the students
berapa ramai student?
80. They get up early and they go to the Great Wall of China, one part of it, and put the 2-kilometer flag. In that morning, where about 11 o'clock, I and Dato' Hishamuddin, this is the first time I see the tears from both of us rolling down. We feel so proud to see. Tak boleh tengok apa, satu red lining saja. Pasal Great Wall of China is 6 kilometer. We put so we feel so proud. Itu yang bangga sekali, that a feat that is almost impossible but we do it. That's why in my book is nothing is impossible. Kalau nak buat, kita boleh buat. So we've completed the feat. Everybody is so happy. And after 3 years later, lagi satu kali kita buat sana. This time 3 kilometer and also successful. So this is something that I'm very proud of. Kalau saya ada wherever I go, you ask me, this is a record out of the country that we are very proud. Bukan senang. Itu satu misi yang not easy. Kalau the government say tak boleh, means tak boleh.
Yalah, kalau tak boleh,
National Day, you know, it may cause a lot of sensitivity. Itu satu rekod lah saya paling suka.
Okay.
But of course the personal record I also can ada satu legacy. But this one is something also that I thought is impossible when the late king of Kedah, Sultan of Kedah become the king twice.
Okay. Oh yeah. Dua kali.
So I thought, why not, you know, give the award to the king. Then people are asking me, are you sure that you want to give award to a king? I said, this is a record. So then we have a discussion. Saya buat satu surat kepada istana. Wah, ini bukan susah nih, bukan senang nih. I was called to the istana twice to discussion. And after that, finally Agong say, okay, Then I went to the palace to give the Malaysia Board record. Itu yang satu record yang I always very proud of lah. You know, to be able to give a record to the king. After that only dia bagi saya satu Tan Sri. Not because I give not because I give the record, but that was after that lah.
Wow.
So ini record pun seems impossible. Giving an award to a king is something that is not possible, but we do it. So that is why saya bangga sekali lah kita boleh buat rekod ini.
Tan Sri, live dengan kita sekarang ada beribu-ribu sedang menonton Tan Sri.
Yeah.
Dia okay, watching on you. Jadi can you give them some sort like inspiration word? Meaning to say, kadang-kadang ada yang menonton ni berbagai-bagai ni, ada entrepreneur, ada yang youngster, ada yang government servant, ada yang housewife semua. Jadi every day kita kena we must continue our life with motivation, either self motivation atau kita juga memberi motivasi pada orang lain. Jadi Tan Sri Denny boleh menjadi idola ataupun sifu ataupun mentor. Bagaimana cara beliau berfikir dan bergerak, dan dia begitu berjiwa besar terhadap negara, terhadap individu, terhadap self achievement. Macam mana? Jadi you share with us, bagi sikit inspirasi about how we going to become a success people ataupun somebody yang tadi Tan Sri cakap nak orang cemerlang kan?
Earlier saya ada talk about opportunity is everywhere, and I always believe in one word. So hopefully that the audience will remember this. There's one common word. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. But we must travel in through the tunnel and go to the light.
Yeah.
Many people stop halfway. So that is very important. You have to travel the journey. Challenges, you must face it. Kalau challenges halfway you give up, you will never know what is your result. So yang penting is never give up is another word that I want to promote to a lot of people. Dalam buku Dare to Dream, nothing is impossible. Don't give up. Itu yang penting. So there is always a light there. But if you travel until the end, you'll find the light. Just like me. Kalau saya dalam 10 years after setting up, kalau saya give up, I don't think there's a Malaysia Board record. So today I'm proud that I never give up, even I've gone through failure. Sampai 2 kali nak jadi bankrupt, saya pun carry on. So that is why today I'm sitting back. Malaysia Board record ada satu my good friend is running it as a CEO. So now I just become a advisor. Saya sit back and relax lah. So two thing is nothing is impossible and never give up. Jangan putus asa.
Okey, jangan putus asa. Jangan putus asa. Percaya ada cahaya di hujung terowong. Kita kena menghabiskan perjalanan terowong itu. Jika kita berhenti di separuh jalan, kita akan berhadapan dengan zaman kegelapan.
Betul.
Jadi maknanya kita have to continue. Never give up, don't stop. Okay? Trust, you can do it. Okay? Okay, Tan Sri, dalam buku ni dan juga tadi kita berkongsi, Tan Sri pernah organize Miss Stargazer. Ini selain daripada Malaysia Book of Record, Tan Sri juga mempelopori pertandingan Ratu Cantik Miss Tourism. Dan saya ada terbaca dalam ini Tan Sri berjumpa dengan Charlie C ni ialah King lah, King atau
Godfather of Beauty Pageant dari
untuk
Amerika
pertandingan Ratu Cantik dunia ni. Wow. Jadi Tan Sri kongsi pula dengan kita bagaimana idea itu muncul membuat pertandingan Ratu Cantik dan sebagainya.
Saya dah ada satu experience dalam itu Miss Stargazer local event, so I was quite interested in organizing as an event. So I was thinking untuk mengajar satu Miss Malaysia Tourism, Miss Malaysia dulu lah. So that's how. Then dalam 90-an 1990 ada satu international Ratu Cantik yang dianjur oleh satu syarikat. Then I heard that this is the owner of the title is Charlie C, the Godfather of Beauty Pageant dari Amerika Syarikat. So I take my opportunity to say that I want to meet this man. Ini lah ada satu lagi opportunity.
Yeah.
But how to see this man is not easy. So in my story, I think of way, you know, dia dikawal oleh security guard lah apa-apa. You have no chance to meet this person. But I have my way. I think of it. I said that I want to go and see this man. So I prepare a letter, drive to see him in the holiday in Shah Alam dulu, ada holiday in Shah Alam. I went there, they don't let me see. I said never mind, this is a very important letter, can you put it under can put a door. Pasal at the moment the organizer is not there, if not the letter also will not go. So aku pun ada, I think I was lucky. So I just slipped the letter there to talk about my profile. I organized Miss Stargazer. I want to organize beauty pageant. So I waited. Nothing come until 5 days later, I think. Then the call came personally. It was a shock to me because a person who wanted, any organizer want to meet Godfather beauty pageant. That's how it started. But also he say, I cannot see you. I will introduce you to people in Singapore. So that's how I get the contact from Singapore and started to do one title. If I don't drive my way to Holiday Inn, did not think of an idea to put a letter, I don't think today I can own 6 world title, Miss Tourism world title. So this is also another opportunity lah. So from there on, I started. He came back 2 years later. See me and say, okay, I have one title, nobody is organizing it, can you help me to do? That's how I organized the first world title in Malaysia, in Kuching, Sarawak in 1993. Miss Tourism Queen of the Year International. And from there on, I started to organize many titles.
Wow.
Okay. Sekarang, I'm very happy. The Miss Tourism International dah franchise untuk 100 negara.
Oh, that's under your
title.
Franchise, so as a founder of this.
Yes, as the owner.
100 negara.
100 negara. But every year saya bawa 50 atau 60 negara. But I'm happy. I stand Malaysia homegrown title now is in the world. Itu yang penting juga.
Daripada apa yang kita kongsi, saya tengok Tan Sri ni dia ada sikap percaya pada diri sendiri. Dan beliau pun tulis dalam ni, believe in yourself. What do you mean by believe in yourself? Masuk Tan Sri, kepercayaan. You trust yourself.
I think it can be done. So you must got to believe yourself that this thing can be done. Nothing is impossible. So I carry on this thing in the mind and continue to have this thinking. That's why I think anything is possible. If you just want to do it, it all lies on yourself. You must believe you can. Then only you do. Of course, don't think of the impossible like going into the star, go to the moon. All these are quite impossible. Other people have done it. You yourself, if you say you want to do something within your reach, you can do it. That is very important. Itu yang penting. Within your reach. If you say you want to have $1 million, ini boleh sekarang. It's how you plan for it. But if you don't think of it, you don't dream of it, you cannot achieve it. So I always encourage when I give my talk on Dare to Dream, if you say you want to have a 1 juta, you write the 1 juta in your bedroom. Every morning kalau bangun, you see the 1 juta. Night time, you see the 1 juta. Then from there, your mind will work to it. Somehow or other, our mind is very powerful. It drives you. But if you have nothing to see, you have nothing to work on. That you want to have satu
target,
or you want to get a apartment.
Okay.
Now you're working, but you must have the apartment, the picture there, so that you are focused. The picture in the apartment in your bedroom, when you get up pagi, you bangun, you tengok, then they give you a positive mind. I want to get the apartment. So every day, you may come in 10 years, it may come in 5 years, it may come in 3 years, but you have to see your dream. That's what seeing your dream is all about. Not just dream, tapi lihat your dream. That's very important. So don't be shy. You want a Porsche, you put a Porsche there. Why not? You just get a poster, put there. So every day, I think what you see will drive your mind towards your goal. But don't dream for the impossible. Don't put there, I want to own a rocket lah, tak boleh lah. But you want to own Porsche, boleh. It's only now is within reach. So a lot of dreams are within reach. That's penting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jadi maknanya we don't care lah. Jangan peduli apa orang kata. We just set our target, our goal, yeah. What we want to achieve, what we want to buy, what is our apa personal kita punya personal kehendak. Kalau begitu, Tan Sri beritahu tadi apa fikiran kita punya apa ni apa otak kita akan berfikir ke arah itu dan kita akan fokus. Sama ada cepat atau lambat, we will achieve that. Tapi how to inspire people, Tan Sri? Dalam ni pun you beritahu, can I inspire you? Wow, so you inspire me.
Yeah.
So you talk about inspire people.
If you go through my life story, I feel I have many times I nearly gone to twice I've gone to bankrupt and I still stand up and I can be successful. Today, that is the inspiration.
Yeah.
Ini yang satu inspiration I can give to you. Who can think that we can put the flag on the Great Wall of China? Who can think that we can give the king an award? Who can think of so many things that we cannot do but we can do it? So I think it is believe in yourself, percaya kepada sendiri. Dreams can be achieved, and that is very important. Just don't sit down and sleep. When you sleep, also you dream about your dream. That's very important.
I see. Tapi siapa in your life, leader ataupun mentor, can inspire you and why?
I think from Malaysia Board Record, that's where I get my inspiration, and that's how my first mentor was actually Tun Mahathir, because of the spirit, the Malaysia Boleh spirit. Other than that, I think you cannot be somebody. You have to be yourself. Life is about creating yourself, not to become like Jack Ma. How many Jack Ma is going to be in the world? Satu saja. You are inspired by him, but you cannot be him. Okay. Most important is yourself. Create yourself what you want to be. You must know yourself what you want to be. Dulu kita ada tanya about 15 years old, we used to ask the children, what is your ambition, what is your hobby, what you want to be. They want to say, I want to be a stewardess, I want to be a pilot. Sekarang sudah they don't interest anymore, because as the time come, now stewardess, nobody wants to be a stewardess. Maybe 20 years ago, wow, stewardess boleh travel, you know. So I think live up to the trend, and most important thing is know what you want to be. You only can tell, but dream is yours. Nobody can take away your dream. So just what I said, you need to see your dream, you need to make your dream come true yourself. Sometimes with the help of friends who may. Now I have, the Malaysia Board Record have 4 dreams. Buku, we already printed 11 books, 11 edisi. I dream of the TV series. We already produced 250 episodes.
Oh, okay.
I dream of the Malaysia Board Record Awards Night. We already done 7 awards night.
Okay.
Lagi ada satu dream. That is the Malaysia Board Record Museum of Achievers.
Oh.
Ini dream belum direalisasi, but I think somebody will make my dream come true. Maybe my partner will make my dream come true. To have the Museum of Achievers.
Tan Sri, before we end the session, kita akhiri sesi kita, saya nak tanya Tan Sri, what is your next dream at your age now, at the situation now? What is your next dream that you want to achieve, or what is your any of your cita-cita? Because as selagi kita hidup, kita akan mempunyai mimpi-mimpi dan cita-cita. What is your next dream?
I think travel is the most important thing in any person's life, that you need to see places. You open up your eyes. The world is not only here or what. So I have not traveled. To be frank, even Spain, Italy, France, I have not visited all these countries. Even to Japan, sad to say, so near. I last visited only in 1980 something. So I want to spend my time to travel. If I have after this COVID-19, maybe in 1.5 years time, if everything, when the international borders are open, my dream is to actually travel to the Eastern Europe and see the world before the chapter is closed. And that's very important. So that's my dream, to be able to see more countries. And although I franchised to 100 countries, I have not seen the 100 countries. So that will be my target.
So when you travel, you get new idea, new dream.
No, I think somehow rather for young people, they still can keep on doing. For me, I think traveling is one of that. Other than that, I don't have any much business to go into anymore. I think the word is
reward yourself,
satisfaction, get back my time, travel, reward myself, play more golf, and enjoy more coffee chat. Now I have time for coffee chat, and there's one word I want the young people not to use: no time.
Okay.
I used to use saya dulu habit. People want to see me, no time. People want to see me, no time. And I've using that for many years in my business life. Today, after 5 years, when I erase this no time, today
you have time.
I have more time to see friends. I have more time to see you. You see me 2:30 every day in BSC for coffee chat. People want to see me, and I'm so happy. Now I'm full of friends. So that's very important. Whatever it is, spend some time with friends. Even how busy you are, don't use the word no time. And that's very important. And also, I want to tell the young entrepreneur, don't use the word learn from mistake. Don't learn from mistake. Learn from people's mistake. Learn from my mistake. Don't repeat it. Then you'll be okay.
Thank you very much, Sri. So nothing is impossible.
Never give up.
Never give up. Dreams, dare to dreams, and also make yourself from nobody to somebody. Itu Tan Sri Danny Ooi bersama kita. Terima kasih Tan Sri sekali lagi. Terima kasih kerana sudi share dengan kita banyak sangat maklumat, knowledge, tip-tip. Jadi mudah-mudahan berguna kepada kita. Tan Sri Danny sangat peramah dan mesra orangnya, boleh kita dekati. Dan sekarang banyak menghabiskan masa dengan rakan-rakan dan golfnya, dan selalu ada di Bangsar BSC, Bangsar Service Center. Tan Sri di sana. Okey, terima kasih. Jumpa dan jumpa lagi untuk sesi yang berikutnya.
Terima kasih. Thank you.